it on like TikTok and stuff like that too. So
No doubt.
just
Well,
get
hey,
me out of
we
that my comfort zone,
that's right. That's
because
right.
if I'm going to help people or with the message that I got, or be able to talk to people about, you know, then I got to get out of my comfort zone. And
That's
more
it.
so sometimes is, yeah.
Well, I tell you, bro, we out of it because we live right now, live streaming. Today is 14 April 2026. How do I know this the 14th? Because the 13th of April is my baby boy's birthday, man. My baby boy Keaton Nazir Clay. Uh, people always ask, did you name him after Nas? Because his middle name is Nazir, and I'm like, hey, there's some influence with that, man. Nas is one of my favorite MCs, obviously. I like Nas's style. I like how he moves. He's a businessman. He moves with purpose. Um, but there's a lot of power in that name. So shout out to my baby boy, man. We were able to celebrate his birthday yesterday, Vernon, and it was special. So again, man, hey, it's top of the hour, 10:18, as the military types out there. They say 1000, so a lot of people are busy right now. A lot of people are working at school. Some people still in the bed, Vernon. Let's just be 100. Um,
Some
but
people
we
just
are.
got off last night, so they sleep
That's
now.
right. That's right. Some people straight off and working that graveyard. So man, but we're here, and we're here with purpose. We're here with intention. We're here with reason, and we'll get into that. But today's live stream, man, is being brought to you, by Divine Warriors Dimension, man. Divine Warriors Dimension. What is Divine Warriors Dimension? That's our partner, Anthony Cutno. Cutno's out in California now. He moved out there some months ago. He's got a different glow about him. You can just see it in his face, man. I think sometimes if you live in places that's not close to water, and you move to a place that's surrounded by a lot of water, man, uh, tap into that energy you all out there, because I promise you, man, there's something special about it. And you can see that all through Cutno, and he always supports us, supports Like Bob Lessons. He knows me, he knows Brother Vernon. So I wanna definitely shout him out this morning, man. That Divine Warriors Dimension. He's steadily moving, doing what he's got to do with that. We support you, brother Anthony Cutno, 100%. Love you, man. We'll meet together again, man, somewhere down the road with the HeMen. So um transitioning for you all out there that will see this, whether you see it live, whether you see it uh streaming a little bit later, replay or whatnot. I'm sitting with a special individual, man. And I don't say that lightly. There's people in life that you meet along the way that you soon become to realize, man, how special they really are. And I could say that this morning, live in the flesh, man. I could pinch myself. It's real. My brother Vernon Shaw, man. Vernon Shaw, um, man, Baltimore, Maryland, man. Like a near and dear special place. I think of Nina Simone. I think of, one of my favorite groups of all time, and a lot of people don't know about them, but their name is Fertile Ground. I'll say it again, fertile, like the soil, fertile ground. Out of Baltimore. I used to go to Baltimore to the African American Heritage Festival down at Oriole Stadium, back in the early 2000s. And man, the whole city of Baltimore be out there, man. You talking about lit, Vernon? Hey, it was lit. And big name artists, Erica Badu and Common, and so many great artists that we know of today. But Vernon, there was a group that was announced as a local group, uh, and I remember the crowd just going nuts when they announced Fertile Ground. And I had never heard of Fertile Ground, and just finding out in that moment that they, born and raised out of Baltimore. And I listened to their set, man, and I was sold. They had a little table. I went up and bought two or three of their CDs that they had put out years
Mm,
before. And man, still to this day, man, that fertile ground is so near and dear to the soul, bro. Like, so for you all out there to see this, man, it's out there, man. Get on your Spotify, get on your Apple Music, whatever platform you use, and cop that fertile ground. So again, when I think of Baltimore, man, it's near and dear. I think a young Tank Davis been representing B more on his rise to, being a champion in the boxing space. So again, man, meeting Vernon for the first time, that was that connect for me. I just, man, my man from Baltimore, Baltimore special. It really is, man, and you have to be up in the area to understand it. What it really means when you come across people from Baltimore. So, without further ado, you all, like I said, this is like Bob Lessons, man. We keep it a buck here. We keep it organic. We keep it fresh. We keep it raw. We keep it just righteous to the best of our ability, man. And I smile when I say that
mm.
because it's like, man, what is righteous? We're just trying to do right. That's it. Whoever came up with that word, right, just you know, righteous, right, us. Like we're just trying to live right. And like I said, without further ado, it is a pleasure on the Light Bulb Lessons, man. Light Bulb Live to have my good brother, Vernon Shaw. How are you feeling today, good brother? What's on your heart? What's on your spirit? How you feeling, man? Tell the people who you are. Let's rock with it.
Thank you for having me. Well, I'm Vernon Shaw Jr., named after my father. Uh, I don't really do too well about talking about myself. You know that.
Yes, sir.
But basically, I'm a person that likes to help. I've always been a helper. I like to impart things on people that can improve and help them in some way. Most of the things I do is physical, like because I the Lord has blessed me with so many different types of gifts. So I have a gift of, I'm just I cook for you. You need help building something, put something together. I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm that call guy. Like I don't mind putting in that work. But if you need somebody to just talk to, I'm gonna listen. So, but more or less lately I've been trying to move into, like, when the first time we met, I told you I was trying to move into my ministry, so to speak, but it wasn't like a pastor or a preacher. And I
mm-hmm.
realized, like, with the things I've been through, I could help somebody. And a lot of people always like talking to me. So basically, I just do what I can. And when people start talking to me, I just thought, when I start talking, they're like, "Oh, wow, you really helped me." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't wasn't trying to, but I'm glad I could."
Right.
So yeah,
That's peace, man.
yeah,
Well, I tell you, bro, it's when you get to a place, Vernon, where you've lived a little, you've experienced some things, man, and no matter what that experience may be, I've always had a lot of respect for the individual who wants to take those lessons learned and impart that on others, man, for the betterment of those others. And it sounds like to me that's where your heart is, man. Your heart is, hey, I want to help others, man. And you have a heart of service, Vernon. We all say it. When I say we all our He-Man brothers out there, shout out to all of our He-Man brothers, man, from the good brother Dr. Oliver T. Reed to Big Mo, Sharon Thomas, just so many. I can name so many He-Man brothers that if I sat with them or anywhere we are, Vernon, and your name comes up, it's always the same. It's amen. And you don't find cats like Vernon, man, that just willing to serve, man. And this platform is all about leadership, bro. My whole business model is about leadership. And why is that? Because of what you just said, Vernon. You just said it, brother. It's one of those type things that we realize what we've been through, the mud that we've been through. And what is mud? As we say as He-Man brothers, men under divine dominion. We've been in that mud, bro.
Right.
So going through that mud and you come out dirty as all get out, and you look to the heavens and ask God for forgiveness. And once God forgives you, because that's what God does,
Mm-hmm.
man. If you confess out of thy mouth, as you know, Vernon, then ask God
Yeah.
for forgiveness, real repentance, like real from the heart, not just some felonious type. No, just being honest, like, hey, Father God, forgive me. He's going to respond to that, and it's like you come out on the other side somewhat clean. Not saying you perfectly clean, but hey, you ain't as dirty as you was in that mud. You want to use that to help others. What's that been for you, man? Just over the last 5 years, I would say, what has it been for you to be able to serve and help others, Vernon?
So it's like this for me, right? When you realize the thing that most people that I talk to that they deal with, a lot of people look at me and be like, so you don't get angry? Like, if you didn't know me back then, you understand anger is a thing, it's a choice, and it's easier to control than we think, but it's not easy to control. But when you come to an understanding, first of all, you take it personal
Right.
because would I want to inflict this kind of damage upon myself? Would I want to see somebody else suffer? You don't look at a perspective as going as what did they do to me, or what can I get out of it? Like,
Mhm.
what is the need that you need and how can I help? You don't have to be upset. Yes, go through the emotions. You don't have to feel like you can't do something. You don't have to feel like for leadership. A lot of people don't understand the greatest leaders are true followers. So if
Agreed.
you're everybody always want to a lot of people want to lead, and they say I've heard people say it to me too. They want to lead by talk. But here's my thing for me personally, and this just for me personally. How can I tell you what to do and you don't see me doing it? I'd rather just show you how I walk, and that
Mhm.
way I could tell you when I do tell you why I do it, or I ask you, or I say you should do something. I'm not gonna take it personal if you don't follow. Like, we fight so hard. I see a lot of people fight so hard to make something so simple that people don't understand how something can be so easy and so simple. So they make it becomes hard. But if you just take and sit back and like take a breather, take a breath, and pause, like, really, how is this hurting me? Whatever somebody's doing, how is it really affecting me? Did I take this personal when it's not really affecting me in a way that I think? And then did I think about what they might be going through? Like the things that I've been through, if I made it out of it, why should I be upset? Why should I be worried about things falling apart? I
Right.
mean, it's not going to just things only fall apart when you allow them to fall apart. That's how I feel. Like,
Mhm.
and what do I mean by allow them to fall apart? You focus on the negative. You just steady complain. It's not going to do nothing.
Right.
So why not just look at it as, okay, well, I'm gonna come out of this, or they gonna come out of this, and don't concentrate so much on. Somebody said to me, you need to be more selfish," and I said to them, well, if I'm, it's not me doing something and helping somebody else because it makes me feel better. Is that not selfish in itself? So it's
Mm.
like knowing I come from a spiritual, very spiritual background.
Right.
And then running the streets the way I did, going to prison the way I did, seeing everybody that I thought was friends turn against you the way you did, it's like, why hold on to all that pain and why hold on to all that hurt? Why not just let it go? And at the same time, understand, like, how did I make it through? Because it wasn't of my own strength.
Right.
So I just be trying to get people to understand that you don't have to take it so hard, and you don't have to prove nothing to nobody. Like, because I'm not trying to prove nothing to anybody. And if I can say something that can help you, or if I can explain something to you the way that I see it, and it makes sense to you, then hey. So I just want to try to lighten the load because I've never not wanted for nothing. I've always, well, I can't say I've always. It's not like I haven't been to things, but I've never really went hungry. I've always had somebody that somewhere I could lay my head, and even
Right.
if I ended up laying my head outside, there was somebody who wanted to look out for me. So, like, a lot of us struggle because of pride, and we don't want to either accept the help that's there that somebody's trying to give us, or we don't want to reach out to the people who's offering it.
Mm,
So that's one of the first level of things that I learned to let go was pride.
yeah.
Because sure, you can survive, but do you have to fight that hard to survive?
Mm,
Like somebody said to me, and I say it a lot, use your resources. Don't think because you ask for a handout that you asking somebody for something. No, it's a resource. You're not going to keep I didn't say, oh, keep asking this person to help you, keep asking this person to help you, keep asking. No, it's a resource to help you get to the next level. And if you so stuck on, no, I can do it myself, you just passed up a resource that could have helped you elevate and freed up space so you be able to concentrate on something else so that you can get to the next level. And you continue to elevate, and other people's going to be watching you as you elevate, and it'll help them too. So it's a continual building process of one person helping another without even really trying. But
mm.
if you overthink it, you miss out.
Man, you cooking, bro. You cooking right now. And I love the fact that you'll start, you did it twice. You started by saying some people, and then you'll double back and say we, as to include yourself. And I love that, Vernon, because a lot of times we can get on these platforms because we controlling the maestro per se. We got the microphone per se. And we just project it out like it's everybody else, but it's not us. We get stuck in teach mode to where we teaching and foaming at the mouth everything that we know, but we're not including ourselves. And I respect the fact that you're doing that right now. You're saying, yo, we let pride get in our way. We, sometimes, think we can do it all by ourselves, and we don't want to reach out for the resource. So I appreciate you for that, Vernon. And again, that's just that little inclination within itself is so powerful. People been coming on and off. Like I told you, it's early in the morning. It's Tuesday. If we was to do this stream at 7 p.m., man, it would be filled with people in this chat. They be, putting their thoughts in there, whatever, and that's cool. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it needs to be that intimate. It needs to be the type of space that we're in right now. Because what are we doing, Vernon? We're speaking into the atmosphere, bro. And God's going to take, our voices in that atmosphere, and He's going to magically move it to who it needs to go to. And we understand that. So I have a question based on something that you said. You said uh, the key word prison, bro. You said prison. And for those out there that may didn't catch it, uh, you said prison, bro. Speak to us about some of that experience that you feel in your heart right now? Just that word, prison. What does prison mean to you, brother?
So when I physical prison, when I first went to physical prison, me, I never liked to keep still. So it was for me agonizing at first. But then I realized it was a chance it was actually a chance to release, to get to
Mm,
know myself, to get
wow.
the focus on myself.
Yeah.
Because now that I'm not moving around running from myself, I can start to learn. I started to learn that's why I actually started writing that. Because when I was running the streets, I was so caught up in, I guess I would say, impressing people because everybody was my friend. But then when I was
Mhm.
alone by myself, it gave me a chance to think. So it was actually prison to me was more freedom than imprisonment
Mm, mm, mm.
because on the
Wow.
outside, I was in prison. I was more locked up on the outside than I was on the inside because on the outside, I was so stuck in myself, wouldn't let myself out,
Hey.
wouldn't learn myself. I'm just following behind everybody else and just
Mm,
doing what was quote unquote fun, even though most of it to me wasn't even really fun because I didn't see the logic in it. But
mm,
I was like, well, whatever. I'm just do it. So, but when I was locked in, I was able to free my mind and tap into things that I didn't even know I had the ability to do. So I started writing, and I realized I was like, wait, everything comes out in poetry because
come
I
on,
thought,
man.
I just when I was
Come
out, I
on.
just saw all these labels that were put on me, but behind bars, those labels didn't matter.
Come
And that
on,
was
man.
funny because in prison they always say you can be whatever you want to be in prison. So I guess it was like I always had a lyrical talent, a lyrical mind. Coming up in church, I was on the choir. I sang, so I could always sing. And then back in the day, everybody was rapping, so I would just play. Everybody would be like freestyle. I'd be like, no, I can't rap. But then one day I did, and everybody was like, wait a minute, how you? I don't understand how words come to me that way, But then that's where I learned that I actually enjoy writing, and so there was no fear. It was like that part of me. I guess I had the Napoleon complex because I was so short and so small. I didn't care about fighting,
Indeed.
so I went in with this mind frame of, all right, it is what it is. Whatever happens, I ain't gonna be no punk. Ain't nobody gonna punk me. I'm gonna fight, fight, fight. And one old head took me and sat me down and said, "You crazy little motherfucker, but
Yeah.
you need to calm down. I see something in you." And my whole life, everybody obviously say, "I see something in you," but for me, it's like I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. But when I got locked up, I started to see it. I didn't really accept it, but I started to see it. It wasn't
Mm,
until probably I got to my 30s that I started to accept it and started to want to slow down. Um, but yeah, prison to me, the word prison is more of a term for freedom to me than a term of being locked down
mm.
because
Excuse me.
there's so many different forms of imprisonment. But the worst imprisonment you can do is to yourself.
Come on, man. So, Vernon, it's heating up in this light bulb, bro. It's heating because, excuse me, freedom of the mind, bro. Dog, like you just took the word prison. You talk about writing, bro. You just took the word prison and you flipped it in a way that, dog, like I literally, bro, like I felt the euphoric chills run through my body because you said I felt more locked up on the outside than I felt locked up on the inside in prison, bro. You was more free, literally in the walls of prison, and a lot of people that's watching this is going to see this, bro. They haven't been to prison, Vernon. They may have been locked up. They may have got booked downtown in their home city or whatever for a day or two. They may have served 30 days, just like myself, bro. I served 12 months. You know what I mean? But I got so many partners, and they don't feel bad for me to shout them out. My man Doyle Lee, my cousin Derek Slaughter, my man Byron Smith, my man, they got the Voyage movement. Shout out to the Voyage movement right now, Terry Dunford, one of my best friends, Latimus Wingate. So many of my partners went to prison. Some did extensive time. My man Fago, some of these cats, 10 years, 15 flat, some 20, and so on.
Mm.
And now they're home. And some of them are, can sit on this platform and share with you that it's been more of a struggle out here than there, based on the fact that, man, the closest I've been to me, to myself, bro, the closest I've been to the creator, because we all know it, and we've heard it 1,000 times, Vernon. Like, it's easy when you're on the inside, yes, but then when you come out, that's why you see so many repeat offenders, because they come back out and it's like, yo, I'm more adapted to the world of prison, like my man Timus, bro. Timus still eat. He still eat with his arm around his food, bro. Like he like this to this day. So for me wise, personally, bro, I still have a lot of Marine Corps tendencies that I catch myself all the time. Like, bro, like I'm used to eating fast, Vernon, because that's the Marine Corps way. Like we sit down, like it'd be quiet. It could be 80 Marines in the cafeteria or chow halls, we call it. And man, we scarfing it down, boom, because you can't even focus on the meal per se, because you're focused on what's next. I got to get back to where I was and pick back up where we left off or whatever. I catch myself sitting at the kitchen table, bro. Boom. So to see my man Timus out of prison, still safeguarding his food, bro. How he moved, like he moved like he's still locked up, and I'm sure he's gotten better as time has went on. Every year that goes by, he's kind of letting go, and because he was in the Pink Palace down in Texas, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fed time. So when I was with him, and I asked him the same thing I asked you, Vernon. I said, bro, what was that experience, bro? And man, dog, 15 minutes later, I'm wiping tears off my face sitting at his kitchen table, because he started explaining to me, man, that world. He's like, bro, like everybody looking at the paperwork. And I was like, what does that mean? He was like, cats literally looking at the paperwork. Like the boss hogs up in there want to see the paperwork, Bernard. Like they want to know if you snitched on somebody, and from the inception, if they find out that you coming up in there on some rat, like bro, you probably gonna die. He's like, it's more cats
Mm-hmm.
dying in there than cats out here on the street, bro. And he was like, dog, like you were in the military, bro. You have a militant mindset. I got a prison mindset. So, it's just real, man. And I appreciate you sharing that, because again, man, you started off the top, Vernon, by saying, you got your physical prison and you got your mental prison. And I just love the way, you've been able to take it and see it more of the freedom of the mind, bro. My father always says, Vernon, like, when he has his quiet time with the creator, he keeps coming back to mindset, keeps coming back to mindset, keeps coming back to mindset. And when I think of mindset, man, I think of creativity, man. And that's you, Vernon. Like you a lyrical genius. You spit poetry, you spit spoken word, man. Like, what does that mean to you, bro? Spoken word, like taking a pencil, pen, a pad of paper. What's going through your mind and your heart, man, when you start to write?
Most times, nothing.
Mm,
Honestly, like when I go to write, I try not to think
mm,
because I um I suffer from well, I suffer from. I don't like using that term. I suffer from. I have ADHD and rapid thoughts. So my words are constantly rolling in my head. So if I try to think of them, then it's so many of them. So I just when I shut it down, it just starts to come out.
mhm.
So most of the time, even most of the time when I talk, I try not to even think about what the next word is going to come out my mouth because I'll end up talking before I even think. So
Mhm.
sometimes, a lot of times, I gotta slow down. But the only thing that ever runs through my mind, especially when I write or when I talk, is what can I do to uplift somebody else? Because what do I know about me? I know that people are naturally drawn to me. I really don't know why. I know that I'm a light that shines because even if I try to hide, I'm noticed. I
Yeah.
know that I've tried to stifle the light and it's still there. So, and then I noticed that even with speaking, and I try hard not to do it, but naturally I just rhyme. It's just like nursery rhymes. Everything I say just almost has to rhyme. And it's like, so when I write it down, like I was trying to work on another piece that says, I understand that I'm the light. Like, there's time, days have come and gone, and now I know I'm the light. So I'm ready to step into that focus. But how do you do that? How do you do that? How does a light be a light? It just is. It doesn't try.
Mm,
A light doesn't say, "Hey, I'm shining." A light doesn't. It just is. So
yeah.
I don't have to do anything to be a light. I could just stand still, and they'll see it. And what else does a light do? Let's talk in the form of fire gives light. But what else does
Yeah.
fire do? It warms.
That's right.
So standing there in light, a light
Protect.
source will help you to see. It'll illuminate the way. It comforts. It calms. It gives a sense of security,
Hmm.
and it just feels like a foundation. I'm only connected to the source, who
Mm,
is God. And I
yeah.
know what God again, I can't you can't tell me what God can't do. I've
Mm,
seen like it come down to I didn't know how this was going to happen and it happened.
yeah.
So like mm,
Bro, man, that light. So this picture right here, Vernon, excuse me. This picture was actually taken down in Fort Lauderdale when we were down there together, right? I flipped it. I'm a creative mind, just like you, Vernon. So, I flipped it. If you study ancient Kemet, the Kemites, they said we were blue black. You know what I mean? Like we were really blue black. We were green, like and just like plants on the earth, the same thing, Vernon. That chlorophyll going through our body. You know what I mean? So that's why I flipped it with that light, and I'm holding the Jed pillar, DJED. It's a light source. If you walk outside in Baltimore right now where you are, Vernon, and you look up at the telephone poles, you'll see those same coils. And those same coils they used as the internal light within us. Those same coils, the chakras of the light within us, bro. It is real. It is a physical thing. And that the jab pillar, uh, I use it, everywhere, bro. Like it's on my logo. The jab, that same pillar is there. It's part of my logo. So you talk about being tapped into the source, Vernon. You talk about being tapped into God. Everything with the light bulb lessons all centers around being tapped into the ultimate source. And I know a lot of people just they don't know. And I feel like it's my duty to put that awareness out there in a way that I can't be afraid, Vernon. I can't be afraid to shine that light. You said it. I've been writing down a lot of notes that you're building on. A light just is. It just is, bro. You know what I'm saying? And when we think of, oh man, shout out to Dr. Oliver T. Reed. Oliver T. Reed in the chat, bro. See, as the light begins to permeate, as that light begins to illuminate, man, God is going to draw the source, Vernon. That's why Dr. Reed's here. Dr. Reed, a busy man. We both know it, bro. Dr. Reed, we already know. But as I told you before we started streaming, I said, man, if just Dr. Reed sees this, if just Dr. Reed sees this, he knows that his vision, night vision, bro, was cast out, bro. His inner vision was cast out, and it brought us together, Vernon. And why did I go with the light? It wasn't because of T.O. Clay, bro. It was because God Almighty Himself said it. He said, hey, light bulb lessons. Take the lessons of Vernon. And, not so much me taking it per se. Yeah, I'm going to absorb it, Vernon. I mean, I got so many notes. You talked about impressing people. You talked about, the actual reward of prison because you was able to find self. Same thing with Dr. Reed and I. Me going in that closet, lighting up that dope, it helped me in the most miraculous, crazy, weird way to be here today, shedding that light. And Dr. Reed said all the time, man, your message is your mess, bro. The more mess, the more mud, as we talked about, bro. That men under the divine dominion, dog, it is so real. It is so real. I got it right here next to me, bro. Obviously we was talking about this earlier. But man, I got this one right here, bro. This manhandle, dog. Dr. Oliver T. Reed, bro. Shout out to Kevin Graham. They wrote this together, man. It's like they like EPMD up in this joint, bro. They going back and forth. You know, they like, going back and forth. And I read it all the time, man, because I'm a man under divine dominion, Vernon. And anytime I hear the light, man, I start getting just filled with the spirit of God, bro. I feel it more so potent than it already is. Uh, and Vernon, I want to ask you this, bro. A simple question. Because again, like I told you, we keep it a buck, light bulb lessons, bro. Like we can only be what we already are. When you think of the name Dr. Oliver T. Reed, bro, what's on your spirit? What do you feel?
Inspiration.
Mm,
Someone who, like I said, a lot of people said they see something in me, but someone who allowed me to be me, as in, uh, took me under his wing and allowed me to be around so that I could absorb, but at the same time use my gift of servitude naturally to
yeah.
be able to, like. they say, not they say, because it's actually I say it. I always say you have a building, and the building is beautiful. The building is the frame and the structure and all that. But what we don't see when the building is complete is the support. The background character is the support. I'd rather be, even like the scripture say, I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of the Lord.
Come on, man.
He allowed me to be a part of this great thing that he was building. And
Mm.
I'm grateful because it one, it broadened my horizon. Two, it I was it enabled me to meet so many people to expound on other sides of my gift. Who, I mean, it took a while for me to actually start moving into them, but just the fact that the seed was planted and where it was planted and how it was planted, like to this day, I still keep in touch with Dr. Oliver, you
Yeah,
know, and I know that things are still make coming back full circle.
yeah,
It's coming back full circle.
yeah.
So, like I said, inspiration, someone who actually helped me to not taking anything from other people who always say, "Oh no, you talented. Oh no, this," but it wasn't. He wasn't harping on how talented I was and this. He was just allowing me, he just allowed me to be.
To be, man.
And the gratitude shown for me just being me,
Yeah, bro.
because a lot of times when people was like, "Oh, why are you always cleaning? Oh, you doing too much. What you did?" But like, why are you doing all that? Because it makes me comfortable and I like
Yeah.
doing it. So instead of saying, "Oh, why are you cleaning? Oh, you helping too much. Calm down." No,
Mm.
he just allowed me to be, and I enjoyed it.
Man, well, I like I told you, man, it's starting to heat up, man. We got some amazing individuals in this chat right now, bro. Man, man, shout out to Dr. Oliver T. Reed. Man, shout out to my baby brother, John Yannick up in Jersey. We got Dr. Reed in DC, we got Yannick in Jersey, and shout out to my man Robbie Lytle down in Dallas, Texas, man. Um, so as I told you, Vernon, our voice is casting out, bro. Some people get intimidated when they get on a live stream and it says zero in the view column. There's only one or two likes. They start because they not doing it in the spirit of God, bro. We operate in the spirit of God. We move at God's speed. We move God bodily. And that's not arrogancy. That's not, oh, I'm better than you. Oh, I got it all figured out. And you don't. No, it's we're mud men, bro. Men under divine dominion. We're under real dominion, like the dominance. I study etymology, so I look at a lot of these words, and I'm like, man, okay, dominion. The dome piece. I was just down in Savannah, Georgia, and I remember as a young Marine being down in Savannah because that's like the closest major city outside of Charleston. If you go south is Savannah, if you go north is Charleston in terms of Paris Island, where Marine boot camp is. So I spent a lot of time in Savannah before I met my wife, who happens to be, from that area. They had this big, huge dome, a globe, and now that globe is a part of Starbucks. Like when you pull into Starbucks, you drive around this big, huge globe, yo. And I was standing in front of it, man, and just dropped the light bulb lesson. But the reality is this, man. You said inspiration. Man, Dr. Reed has inspired me, man. I was just with Dr. Reed not even a month ago. He was down here in Covington, Georgia, giving a sermon at a beautiful church, man, down here. and I woke my sons up. Hey, come on, fellas, get ready. We're going to church. And man, we drive down there, man, and it was a little bit further than I thought it was. But man, when we walked in, Dr. Oliver was already, beginning to give his message, bro. And he talked about having a cup, you know, and how a lot of times we want to take that cup, that cup of that water, man. Others are out there thirsting, burning. Others are out there starving. You know, and that oil within that cup, man, what God expects us to do with it. And he broke that thing down, man, biblically in a way, of men in battle that they were holding what I would say the cup of God, bro. It was like, dog, no matter what, we can't let this fall, bro. Dudes got swords and arrows and they fighting and hooking and jiving, but they trying to hold on to that cup of God, bro. Don't let this fall, bro. And what we do with that is so vital. And I'm just grateful on this Tuesday morning, Vernon, to sit with you, bro, because I right now feel the power of God, bro. And as Dr. Reed just said in the chat, man, all we need is seven. Robbie Lytle said arm, leg, arm, head. Again, hey, you've been to prison, Vernon. You was in prison, so you was around Muslim brothers. You was around 5% brothers. You was around Christian brothers. You was around the Aryan Nation brothers. You was around the Navajo Indian brothers. You seen it all within that mountain. But you knew I'm tethered in and I'm tapped into the God that I know, that I serve, that I love, that has me. And something as simple as arm, leg, arm, head, bro. When you stand there and you put your arms out, arm, leg, leg, arm, head, that's Allah. ALLAH. Arm, leg, arm, head. It's we're in the physical manifestation of God, bro. And how do we live on this little piece of grain of salt on this planet Earth? And people weaponize that. I see people in the chat all the time trying to say to my brother Robbie Lytle, oh, they just keep asking him, are you Muslim? Are you Muslim? Does it make a difference? How about reframe that and say, are you a man of God? Are you walking in the light of God, bro? We take this religious thing, man, and we twist it and we use it for our own personal and like you said, it really boils down to our natural gift of servitude. And that's what the heck you are, Vernon. And for any mouth to say, why is Vernon cleaning? Why is Vernon taking the trash out? Why is Vernon breaking down the banners? Why is Vernon pulling the microphone cords to the back of the stage? Why is Vernon? Why is Vernon? Why is Vernon? It's a fundamental flaw with whoever that individual may be. It's a fundamental flaw because it's like, bro, last night my wife was awarded. She's a part of Tri Alpha, 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 Alpha. She's the first generation of her family to have a degree. Basically, her mother and father, neither one of them have degrees. Shout out to them, but they, to me, got the ultimate degree. They got the degree in real life and experience, and walking that walk, man, to give her the opportunity to do what she do. But being there last night, like I told you, starting off, it was Keaton's birthday yesterday. Shout out to my baby boy Keaton. As everybody had roamed out, and the people that put the event on, they started cleaning up. And Keaton walked up to one of the men and was like, "Can I help? Can I help y'all pack this stuff up?" And one of the gentlemen walked straight up to me, put his hand out, and was like, "Man, to have that young man to extend his help, I know he's being raised right." He's like, "Man, I know he's being raised right." And I say, "You know what? And today's his birthday, but it just showed that selfless devotion to duty. And that's what you are. That's what you are, Vernon. So, man, we 49 minutes in. Man, we've been cooking, bro. And I love it, dog, because like I always tell you, there's no script to this, man. It's just we're operating in the pursuit of God, bro. That's what we desire. That's what gets us up. That's what makes us feel so good. I want to transition to this, man. I'm gonna ask you a question, man, and however you decide to build on it, man, you take it where God places in your heart for it to go. I want to ask you this, Vern. Whether it was one day, whether it was 5 years, whether it was 10 years, whether it was half a day, have you ever considered yourself to be homeless?
Ha.
Hey, I'm just saying that God put
Okay,
it in my spirit to just say
so
it. Have you ever considered yourself, Vernon Shaw, to literally, really be homeless? And if so,
no
yes or
offense to
no, and why?
anybody who knows me, ever since leaving my parents' house, and it's for multiple reasons, I've considered myself homeless. To me, homeless means the only place I felt or really ever feel at home outside of that state and feeling. Like I said, even now, I'm sitting in the house, I still consider myself homeless. The only place I really felt home, and like I said, for multiple reasons, and I'm gonna break it down. But the first top place is I've only ever felt at home in the presence of God. So in a church or even just a group setting where we're talking about God, that's I feel at home. I felt homeless first and foremost because I never felt like I was around like-minded people, people that I could commune with. Um, and then I have experience. It got to the point where, like I said, I always had somebody that would take me in. So even I'd rather live outside alone than under a roof of people who I can't. One, I'm a worshiper. I like to worship. I like to pray, and I like to make sure that everybody is good. I don't like a lot of I don't like a lot of conflict. I don't believe there should have to be conflict. And because I'm already dealing with an internal battle of flesh against spirit,
Mm,
I don't want to be around a bunch of negativity, a bunch of ungratefulness, because it could be worse. Yeah, it ain't the best, but it could be worse. Like, why are you so focused? So, because I haven't found a state, a place where I can exist outside of, like, right now, I would say I'm at home because I'm myself. I'm in the home state of mind
yeah, no
where
doubt.
I'm at with you. But it's hard to find those people who have just have gratitude, just have gratitude, or overabundance of gratitude. That's what makes you want to do things. Like,
Mm,
wait, you hungry? Let me go make you something to eat. You look like you, because people that just consistently have that ungratefulness, that complaining spirit, it's like, what can I do for you to make it better? So let me take some of this weight off. Why can I take some of this weight up? Because I don't feel any weight of my own. Yes, I still got problems, but I'm not worried about them because I'm grateful because it could be worse. So let's worship, let's praise, let's sing, let's pray. And then most people be like, oh, well, I don't want to pray. Or why I don't want to hear about God or this. But I
mm,
don't understand, like, why would you want to concentrate on the problem?
right.
I'm not saying there aren't steps you're not supposed to take, but half the time we know the steps we're supposed to take and still don't take it. So if that's gonna happen anyway, you might as well still just be grateful that you have the opportunity to just be there.
Yeah.
You have the opportunity to make a difference. Even if you sit like a bump on a log and don't do nothing, you have the opportunity to make a difference.
Yeah, bro.
And in the physical, because my name has not been on the lease, I'm homeless. That's not mine. You can take it from me at any time. You can tell me go, and what can I say? I'm not on the lease.
Mm.
So
Spread.
for
Yeah.
me, if I don't have the presence of, if I can't usher in the presence of God when I feel like it, without somebody saying, without somebody looking like dabbing in the spirit, or want to pull me out of that space of worship or that space of praise, or you get me to feel like I just need to distract myself. I shouldn't be distracting myself with so many other frivolous and foolish things. I shouldn't be in a place where I feel like I can't just sit. Like I got your book. I want to sit and read the book, but because of everything happening around me and the state of uncomfortability, you can't do what you want to do. You can't worship without feeling like something's going to interject. So, I mean, I've just learned to be, no matter what state I find myself in, I've learned to be content. People always ask me, how you doing? I say, I'm well. They be like, you okay? I'll be like, yes, I am. I I have read something. It said we need to start making it a point to taking everything to God first.
Come on, man.
Because what can most people, what are most people going to do anyway? People like, well, you want to talk about it? How are you really going to help me when you can't even just accept that everything is already in God's hands? And if I
Hmm.
tell you that it's in God's hands and it'll work out, and your response is, but, but is a word, is a doubt word. If you put but in there, you automatically tear down everything else.
Yeah, no doubt.
There should be no but. There should be no yet. It is going to happen. It is in the works. It is, and I'm saying that, but I still be talking about I'm not sure. Okay, it is
Yeah,
in the
bro.
works, and you
It
have to
is.
see it. You have to believe it. But it's hard when things around you. See, there go to that word. But
Yeah.
even I'm still working on getting that out of my vocabulary.
Yeah.
When things around you just seem like everybody wants to stop the flow. What's the flow?
They
It's
do.
the flow of the spirit.
It ain't even seem like burning. They do want to stop it, bro. They do want to stop it. And that could be some of our own Christian brothers and sisters, you know, claim Christian, but not really operating in Christ like, bro. That's real. And we've all experienced it. See, I think brothers like you and I, Vernon, man, we've been to the mountaintop of that griminess, that grittiness, that rottenness, that spoilage. We've been to the mountaintop of that, bro. So the only thing left for us was death. That was the only thing left. Nothing else. Hey, Father God, if you take me right now, it's warranted. Period. Exclamation. And God said, "Nah, I'm not done with you, though. I'm not done with you.
I got a
You,
job for you.
yes, I got an assignment for you. I got a job for you, bro. And whether you like it or whether you don't like it, I'm gonna whip you into shape for you to operate in it. And that's where we are, Vernon. That's where the great Dr. Albert T. Reed is. That's where Robbie Lytle is. That's where so many of us that we're always battling in the spirit, bro. The enemy is every ounce of any occupied space around us, bro. The enemy can be coffee. The enemy could be weed. The enemy could be women. The enemy could be money. The enemy could be social media. It could be shoes. It can be whatever, Vernon, until we hearken our heart to the Spirit of God. Nothing else is going to ever be right and exact for us, bro. It's not going to be, Vernon. When we sat in Manassas up in Virginia, Dr. Reed was just talking about it in the chat. Worshiper, let me put it back up, man. Worshiper Vernon Shaw prayed in Manassas, and the glory of the divine came in. Bruh, when I tell you, man, when we chop up these reels, bruh, you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, you go on YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever's out there, Twitch, dog, we understand what we're up against. We're up against the principalities, Vernon. We're fighting against unseen, in the carnal eye, that we're fighting, one aspect of it, but in the spiritual eye, bro, we know we can see it vividly, clearly. Like, and I can promise you this, bro. Because man, this is so dope right here, bro. Like this ain't no live stream, bro. The words come out your mouth, bro. No, you see, and that's where the light bulb lessons come, bro. Like they come naturally, bro. We don't have to fake. We don't have to front. We don't have to get on here trying to be something that we're not. This ain't about money for us. This ain't about sales. This ain't about just all of these things. Those things have their place. But I'd rather be here in this moment where we're talking about these notes that I got written down. I'm battling spirit versus flesh. Like, come on, bro. Hey, the battle is spirit, bro. It really is, Vernon. And to ask you a simple question, have you been homeless? If you to flip it and say, man, I'm always homeless unless I'm with God, bro. Like that, that's profound, my brother. That right there, that's profound. Because man, I'm stealing that from you, bro. Like I'm homeless right now, bro. Like word is born. I'm homeless unless I'm in the presence of God, bro. If I'm in the presence of God, bro, then I'm good. And Vernon, man, like I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Uh, from Manassas, when you were sitting at that table, I got a reel out there. It's a reel that I chopped up and put out there where you talking to me and Mo. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember how good I felt, man, when I hit post on that reel because I knew in that moment, like, man, uh, brother Vernon came down from Baltimore to Manassas, Virginia, just south of DC, to be with us, and for us to be with him, collective. And the men that were in that room, from Jose Escobar to uh, Raul Marin to Emilio Roman, uh, Big Mo, myself. Remember the African brother that came that had to leave because he had got the call from his son from prison.
Mm-hmm.
He hadn't talked to his son in years, bro. And just out of nowhere, dog, because we ushered ourselves into the presence of God. We saw the miraculous start to take place. And there's a lot of people out there that they may think that's spookism. They may think, oh, that ain't real. Nah, it's real, bro. The spirit of God. I was just in the Waffle House down in Savannah. Me and my wife sitting there. We had ordered our food. We're sitting there in the seats by the glass window, looking at the counter in Waffle House, waiting on our food. A man walks in the door right beside us, and he had a little toddler baby with him. And Vernon, I looked at the little baby's sneakers, and he had on some fresh Jordans, clean. Little buddy had the freshest Jordans on. And I was like, wow. I told my wife, I said, man, look at little buddy's Jordans, babe. She was like, oh, he's so cute. And then as the man turned and we could see the side of his face, my wife was like, We know him. We know him. And when I looked again, I realized it was my brother, Wayne Campbell. We were drill instructors together at Paris Island for 3 years. I just talked to Wayne on the phone. He has his own trucking business and doing really well in the trucking industry. Got out of the Marine Corps and got into trucking and doing deliveries and all of this. Has his own big semi rig and all of that. And I said, babe, let's just stare at him until he recognizes that it's us. So we're sitting there and we're looking at him like this, Vernon. And he's walking with his baby and he looks at us kind of like, man, what the hell are they staring at? And then he was like, oh, it was just that moment. And we got up, man, we hugged. But again, it's the presence of God. That was the light bulb moment. The light bulb moment was out of all the Waffle Houses across the city of Savannah, in that exact timing, exact speed, exact moment, because a lot of people say light bulb moments. That was that. That was the light bulb moment, Vernon. That God saw fit for one of our brothers. He knows my wife very well. We got to meet his grandson and just partake in that simplicity of that moment. But what did we walk away from? We were extracting, walking away, knowing only God can do that, bro. I didn't call Wayne Campbell and say, hey man, meet me at the Waffle House on such and such street. And oh, by the way, I ended up, I always keep them with me in the trunk. I had a hitter there in the trunk. I sneak out to the car. I grab it. I come back and I said, man, I want you to have this, brother. I served with that man, dog. That man's a part of the legacy of that book. Wayne Campbell, man. He just good-hearted brother Vernon. And man, he got emotional, man. Just looking at that picture. He's just like, bro, God is still carrying us, bro. Exact words out of his
Amen.
mouth. He said, God is still carrying us, T.O. Clay. You and Kizzy still together. Oh six. And y'all here, bro. Like, so again, Vernon, the presence of God, bro. I love having these conversations because I know it's really God, and the algorithms try to block it. Let's be 100. The algorithm don't promote and push this. Me and you start talking crazy and ratchet right now, though, Vernon. We start talking about crazy ratchet. Oh man, or people just it's like when you walking down the block and you got all of these storefronts. You know what I mean? How many men are going to stop and look through the glass storefront of the butt naked woman that's on the other side of that glass? If me and you get out of the car and we start walking down the street, Vernon, and we see all of these men hovering around this one storefront, we like, yo, man, what are them cats? And we get up and we look at, just like you said, the flesh and the spirit. You know what I mean? Versus, man, Vernon is on the other side of the glass with a speaker out front, and he's speaking about the goodness of God on the mic. Am I going to be, you know what I'm saying, attracted to that? Am I going to walk up and be like, man, this is the presence and where I want to be? We could stand here and we could pray for the naked lady in the glass window over there. That she comes out of that state. You know what I mean? Because in the spirit of God, she should want to cover herself. You know what I mean? She should want, to respect herself, respect her body, respect her mind, respect her spirit. So again, bro, listen, Vernon. Hey, we've been chopping for an hour and 9 minutes. Uh, this ain't gonna be our last, Vernon. You welcome on the light bulb anytime, bro. Like and I mean that.
Appreciate it.
Like all the other brothers that's been coming through, other brothers is gonna see their sisters, they all know collectively, man, that this is a safe place, bro. You know what I mean? We speak on the light. It's not about just T.O. Vernon. It's about the light that we possess, man. What is light? I say it every day, Vernon. Love, intellect, greatness, health, and truth. Those five pillars, bro, came straight from God to me. Like when Moses got the commandments, God gave me my commandment. He was like, yo, it's light. Talk about light, bro. Just embody the light. Be, like you said, the light. Just be the light, bro. And it ain't always fun, Vernon. You know what I'm saying is the truth. It's not always fun, being uh in alignment with God's assignment, bro. And the way we do it, what I love, and I'm gonna pass it to you, man. You can close us up out of here. What I love, Vernon, is just knowing you could I got this light on in the back. I bought
Mhm.
that at IKEA. It's one of them little globe lights. It's real dope. I love it. I got the on air light. I got this light over here, and I got this light here. But I'm grateful to know that I got this light right here, you, Vernon. Your light. I can see the radiation coming off of you, bro, in a positive radiating way. Your light, the light of Robbie Lytle in the chat, the light of Oliver T. Reed in the chat, the light of John Yannick in the chat, many others that are watching that maybe haven't said anything in the chat. I'm just grateful, man, that light is shined today, bro. And with that, there's something special happening, you all. Uh, there's something special if you look at the bottom of the screen as it's scrolling by. I'm gonna let Brother Vernon elaborate on what's significant about what's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Let us know what you got coming up, Vernon, if you don't mind, good sir.
So for the past couple of months, well, actually my whole life, I've been writing and singing, and everybody always was telling me, "Oh well, those words music." So I put a few of the things to music, which inspired me to start actually trying to write music. And I came out with a song. I sent it to you, so if you get a chance, listen
Yeah,
to me. Let me know
I'm
what
gonna
you
check
think.
it out.
It's called "Moving
Yes.
Like a Preacher," and it's a lyrical. It's lyrical. It's not okay. I would call it contemporary gospel. It's not your hymnal gospel, but and then I came out with another song. It's called "In the Fire." So moving like a preacher, I'm just talking about how I'm not here to preach to you. I'm trying to teach you through my actions. Like you
Yes.
saw what I used to do. You saw my past. You know about me, or those that know about me. And but I'm moving to show. I'm speaking through my actions, not my words. And then in the fire, it's like letting you know. And I didn't even really pay attention to it until I listened to my own song again. Sharon, Misha, and Bendigo, they were thrown in the furnace because they wouldn't bow down to the idol. Okay, so this has been dropping on my spirit for a little bit during the conversation. We don't even realize how easy it is to turn something into an idol. Anything we put before God becomes our idol. But we so say, oh, I don't worship idols. I don't worship idols. But you can't even mentally give 2.5 hours of your day to pay homage to God, and you're saying you don't worship idols. What was you doing? Everything that you put in front of God is an idol. So the in the fire, it says,
Mm.
I'm not afraid of fire. If it finds, it burns, it hurts, yes, but each flame has a purpose. And I know the best thing about the fire is I'm not alone in the fire. So even
Indeed.
though it's burning, it's purifying me. But I know you right there with me, and you're holding me. So it's an album of 10 songs. It comes out the 24th of this month. It drops at 8:30 on Spotify, and then 12 midnight on every other platform. I'm just trying to get the message out there. I'm just trying to encourage some people. There's another song that's called "I've Been Changed." So it's just a repetition of songs that encourage let people know, like, listen, you're not the only one that is going through something. Like, it's
Right.
not too late. It's a song called "Wake Up." It- so you don't have to. Don't worry about what people think about you. Don't worry about what people want to see, because literally every one of us feels the pull of God. We just
Mm,
choose to ignore it because of that pride thing, or that worried about what somebody going to think about you,
mhm.
or worried about what that friend who might stray off because, oh, you holy roly. No, I'm not holy roly. I just, I'm still me. I just understand that I feel more blessed in the present and acknowledging the creator.
That's it, bro. Say less. Say less, man. Gentleman gave me this book, man. Um, Gentleman gave me this book, man, called Two Chairs. Shout out to Scott Schilling, Mr. Scott Schilling, man. He said, Coach T.O, enjoy Two Chairs. Bob Bodine is a longtime fabulous friend. One favor, after you read the book, please send Bob a message as to how Two Chairs has positively impacted you. I appreciate you, my friend. Keep being the awesomeness you are. Be blessed, Scott Schilling. Man, I've just read probably the first 5 to 10 pages, just like you were saying, Vernon. I just started this book yesterday. And man, I got an empty chair in here. Two chairs. I got an empty chair sitting in here. It just the impact that the first opening of that book had on me yesterday. Like I told you, Vernon, man, it's been a challenging week, bro. With the family situation, my father-in-law and things. Uh, we can rest assured, man, that it's really God, bro. And he talks about it in there. He talks about all of us going through the same exact things, loss, hurt, guilt, pain, fear, uh, so many different things, man. And it's just like how they scale like the Richter scale, man. How much of that impact is really affecting you? Yeah, I'm telling you, Vernon. Last week was a heavy Richter scale, bro. Like that needle last week was like that joint. It spiked up. I'm looking at myself on the camera. That joint spiked up last week when that phone call came about my father-in-law, and he's doing better. He's still getting better. He's still getting well, but he's not in the position that he was a week ago. And man, in those moments,
Amen.
go straight to God, bro. And it should feel natural. It should feel normal to go straight to God because you're already going straight to God with everything. When you up, when you down, when you got bread in your pocket, when you're struggling financially, you're going through a divorce, you're going through loss of a family member, whatever it may be, bro. You're going to God consistently all the time. So when that Richter scale, like I experienced last week, that heavy ping, when that big ping went up on the Richter scale needle, man, I already knew two chairs. He's sitting in that chair right there that I'm looking at. He's always there, bro. And I talk to him. I walk with him, dog. Me and you are lyrical heads. I rhyme with him. You know what I mean? I spit lyrics. Like, Father God, what do you think? So again, man, Vernon, I appreciate you, bro. Today, I'm enlightened. You know what I'm saying? God has been in this midst right here, bro. He's been
Amen.
here. The light has, shown itself worthy, bro. And that's the blessing. Vernon, the blessing is not how many followers we got, how many likes we got. All of that, man, that's secondary. That's minutia. It's you're going to walk more upright today, bro. What did I say starting off? Righteous. You know, you just said it. Holy poly. Oh man, oh you this you. It's so sad, man. Like I was a drug addict, and I heard my man Terry Dunford say it the other day on one of the interviews that he was on. He said, man, the hardest thing for me was shout out to Juan Villegas down in Tampa, Orlando, Florida area. Love you, Villegas. I'm telling you, Vernon, you're in Baltimore. Villegas is down in Florida. Lytle's out in Dallas. Dr. Reed's up in DC. Yenix up in Jersey. And many others, man. So the voice, my man just put in the chat Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Like, dog, this ain't T.O. Clay, bro. It's God, bro. Like, we're moving at God's speed. In Proverbs 3, man. You got your word on you right now, Vernon. Man, pull that joint up.
Yep, looking it up right now.
Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Read that for us, Vernon. Read it for us, bro.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not to thine own
Own
understanding.
understanding,
In
man.
all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
Come on, bro. Vernon, you've heard it a billion times. I've heard it a billion times. And it's so fitting that the man who just put that in the chat, man, is one of the greatest leaders that I personally know. One of the greatest men, bro. I'm talking that I can count on my hand, bro. Juan Villegas, New York City, is one of the greatest men that I know in this life. And I followed that man. I looked at that man, dog. I emulated that man. I wanted to be like Juan Villegas, bro. Like I don't be trying to get emotional on these streams and stuff, bro. But sometimes you just can't help it, bro. And I'll be honest with you, dog. I wanted to be like Juan Villegas. And man, that man took me under his wing, bro. Like you said, the old school cat when you was locked up. Juan Villegas is one of those men for me, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he took me under the wing. And Villegas' eyes always bloodshot red, bro. Like I'm telling you, Villegas' eyes bloodshot, bro. I knew he was tired. I knew, he had a wife and kids at home. But man, that man, you talk about real rebar. We talk about rebar. When we built our sun room on back of our house a couple years ago, bro. Vernon, our house is up on a hill. So it was they pushed a lot of dirt up to build our house, like the streets like down. Our house is up on a hill. And I remember when they took that rebar, dog, and they put it down to the ground before they started laying the concrete, bro. And they was like, well, you can't build on basically sinking sand. Like you're building a structure on the back of your home, and it's got to be able to withstand. So when the county comes out here, they're going to do their probing test to ensure that once we build this structure on back of your home, it won't sink. And man, they laid that rebar. Oh man, dog, and just the understanding of that tensile strength is what I see in Juan Villegas, bro. He had that real rebar tensile strength, dog. For a young cat like me, to be able to emulate, dog, and watch it. And to know that that man has moved into ministry, bro. It's always been in it. You know what I'm saying? Just like you, Vernon Shaw, it's always been in you. Just like me, it's always been in me. And that's what God fused together. He brought us all together in different circumstances, different environments, different, outfits and whatnot. But what you just read, bro, you know what I'm saying? Proverbs 3, 5 through 6, bro. Lean not to thy own understanding, man. It's the truth. That's the word of God, and that is the light. And with that, man, y'all make sure, man, y'all support my man Vernon. Come the 24th, man. Go to those streaming platforms. Vernon's on Facebook. He's on Instagram. Type in Vernon Shaw. You know, I've heard it. I've heard him spit. I remember when we
I'm on
came
TikTok
home.
too.
Okay, no doubt. TikTok as well. I remember telling you, man, yo, Vernon, you got that gift, bro. You got that talent. Spread it, dog. Don't be afraid. And just to see, man, where you've taken it from there, man, it's special. Uh, so a good way to segue up out of here, man, is, man, what's your final thoughts, brother, for that young man or that lady out there that's struggling, or that person right now that doesn't see a way. You know, their light is dim, bro. They ain't where we know God wants to bring them to be. Uh, what's your parting words, brother?
You thinking it's over, but what's meant to be is in front of your eyes. Open them up so you can see. Open your spiritual ears and let the words come in, because now it's time for you to let life begin. You've been staying stagnant, living in death. Now it's time that you give your heart some rest. So allow yourself to be free and breathe. Look up to heaven. Get down on your knees. All your needs have already been supplied. The door is open. You don't have to hide. Put
Mm,
aside the shame, the guilt, and the pride. You can build together. You can build in stride. That's all I have.
man, we appreciate you, Vernon. Love you, bro.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
man. No doubt. It's been a pleasure, man. God is real. And we appreciate everybody who came through and rocked with us today. Share this, man. Somebody needs it, bro. Like, for real. It ain't self accolade type thing, man. It's somebody needs it. Somebody needs to hear what my man Vernon just spit. You know, so share it, man. That person that you may know that, hey, man, I can help today. That's what it's all about. Helping them shine and helping them shine their light, man. That God may see their good works. So with that, we love y'all out there. You know, we always say emphatically, without doubt, all we need is seven. Seven is God. And we always leave with the most beautiful aspect of peace. What is peace? Positive energy always creates elevation. Proper energy, positive energy. However you want to say it, peaceful energy always creates elevation. And proper education always corrects errors. Proper education always corrects errors. That's peace. Love y'all out there.